Hey, listen to me. Jalen Brunson just exposed one of the biggest lies in sports, right? Because listen, according to a lot of scouts, he wasn't athletic enough. He was too small, he was too slow, he wasn't explosive enough. But today, that man is an NBA champion and a finals MVP, right? So hear me out, young athletes. Imagine being told you're too small, you're too slow, you're not athletic enough, and then proving every single scout wrong. Like, what, you all know, what if I told you, like, that man wasn't a lottery pick? What if I told you, like, the initial report from the NBA scouts, they questioned whether he even be able to defend at the next level because of his size and lack of athletic ability. Yet today, he's a champion and finals MVP. And that's exactly why every young athlete needs to hear this story I'm about to tell you. Because Jalen Brunson's journey, it destroys the excuse that talent alone determines success, right? Like, coming out of high school, he was highly respected, right? But nobody looked at him and said he's going to be the future face of an NBA franchise, right? Maybe you're that kid who gets passed over because you're not the fastest, or you're not ranked, or maybe you're not getting the attention that like everybody else is getting. And that's exactly where Jalen Brunson was. Like, he wasn't the highest jumper. He wasn't ever the most explosive. But what he did have was an obsession with getting better. Like, when he got to Villanova, continued to work hard, but he won 2 national championships and became the National Player of the Year. And then, despite of all of that success, 32 NBA teams passed upon him. And Dallas eventually selected him in the second round, I think at number 33, right? That's 32 organizations looking at him and saying, there are better options. See, most people would have used that as proof to say, okay, they weren't good enough. But for Jalen Brunson, that was few, right? So while others relied on like their athletic ability, he continued to master his footwork and turn that into a weapon, right? Every pivot, every change of pace, every angle, right? So while other players relied on their athleticism, he relied on that skill, right? While they relied on speed, he mastered pace. While they relied on highlight reels and highlight plays, he mastered decision-making. His game wasn't built on what he didn't have. It was built on maximizing what he did have. And that's the lesson, right? Too many young athletes spend years wishing they had someone else's gifts. He spent years maximizing his own. And eventually that mindset transformed him from a second-round pick into the leader of a championship team and finals MVP. He ended a 53-year drought, and he capped it off with a 45-point performance. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of athletes don't even have a talent problem. They just have a discipline problem. So parents, coaches, and athletes, I want y'all to understand this. The gap between good and great is rarely talent. It's consistency. It's discipline. It's attention to detail. It's doing the boring things long after the excitement disappears, right? Because the truth is this. Talent might open those doors, but the work ethic determines how long you stay in that room. So if you're that kid who ain't the tallest, if you're the player who isn't ranked, if you're the athlete who keeps getting overlooked and the least athletic kid, good. Use it. Because Jalen Brunson just showed the world that being underestimated can become your greatest advantage. Like, one day you will be underestimated. But the real question is this. Will that become your excuse or your advantage? No slacking.